Okay, kind of a unique situation with this painting project I've got going on. I think I might have shown these in the last video. What I did was I ordered 2 sets of the Puppet Wars Teddies that were coming into 5-packs. Now, normally with Malifaux/Weird miniatures, you don't really have that kind of repetition that you get with the larger scale war games. This is a fairly unique situation, at least regarding Puppet Wars slash Malifaux. Also the time constraints. It's now Monday, about 7 p.m. Pacific time, and I've got to get at least 5 of these ready for my niece because they're going to be her Christmas present. So, I wanted to shoot a little of this process as I went along. First thing to note about my process is the white primer. I'm a white primer guy. I know a lot of people are black primer people or gray primer people, and like I said in one of my other videos, a lot of advantages and disadvantages to whatever color primer you go with, but most of my tricks are based on white. So I'm going to utilize this white to allow me to achieve color quickly, allow me to achieve very bright, very vibrant colors. But one of the drawbacks to white primer is the fact that it can be very hard to pick out detail. So I am going to show you one little trick that I might do in order to alleviate that. Okay, so what I did, the very first thing I did is I went ahead and hit each of these models with a little bit of thinned down black ink. That guy really doesn't like standing. And they're still drying right now, so I'm going to have to give them a little time to dry. But let me show you what this actually does. That out of the way. Okay, so if you have a model that has a lot of tiny detail, or a lot of tiny texture, and you prime them late, that detail might get obscured by the primer. So what you might want to do is give yourself a little bit of a blueprint of what you're going to be going after. By doing that little just thin down black wash. Bad Ab Black works fine. And now you can see the detail coming in on these guys. So the next part of the process, while this stuff is drying, is we're going to talk about strategy a little bit. And again, I talked about this in some of my other videos. Let's go back to this. Okay, there we go. So normally what we try to do is avoid painting a mass amount of models at the same time. You want to stick to around a comfortable number for me when I was painting squad after squad was about 6 members. I've got 10 models here, and I'm actually going to give myself a little bit of an exception here because I have, in fact, painted this model before. So I've worked with this model. I know where I want to concentrate my efforts and my detail. So I'm comfortable working with 10. And I'm going to start off with the highest focal point, or one of the most detailed parts of the model. One of the parts that your eyes are drawn to the most, and that is the teeth. So I'm going to start with the teeth, and because I'm going to do the gums, which is actually the innermost part of the teeth, I can paint those pink, and I can actually do all 10 of them pink. So that's probably going to be the first step, is to work on the teeth. Once the teeth is done, then I can work on parts of the individual parts of these models. Now my overall plan is, since these guys come in sets of 5, and you get 1 per faction essentially, I've got 2 sets. I was actually going to do color schemes, 2 color schemes of each one that's fairly close. So I was going to do, for like the tomes, the Arcanist one, I was going to do like 2 of these Arcanist kind, maybe one of a darker blue and the other one a lighter blue. Then red for the guild, red and maybe a darker red, and the same purple for Neverborn, yellow gold / for outcasts, and green for rezzers. So that's my plan. And so I'm going to knock that out next. But that's a neat little trick anyways, is, before you even start, hit a white primed model with some thin down black wash, and you'll know where you're going. Okay, so we're in the initial stages. Painted up, just did a little bit of base coating on the teeth and claws and gums. So, okay, so what's going to be next? I'm actually not done base coating. I did a little bit of highlighting there. But halfway through my highlighting, I am going to apply a wash of Devlin mud. And what that's going to do is that will give me a little bit of shading as I go on to the other parts of the model. Let me just get my Devlin mud here. Okay. And then I'll be able to come back with that sort of the off-white / ivory color that I've got going on. So let me apply a little bit here. Sorry for the out of focusness. Here, you guys can look at that, so you're not going blind while I'm doing this. You can try to watch me do this. I don't think it's going to be very good, though. Let's try. Alright. So, I'm going to run that wash through there. Fairly liberal wash going down. So I want to get a lot of shadow, a lot of depth. So you can see that going down. If I end up over applying the wash, I just pick it up with the brush a little bit, but I'm actually kind of liking this so far. So, pretty good. Oop, did over apply there. Get down here to that area. Pull a little bit off of here. Now with washes you can actually kind of move it around a little bit. What you want to do is force them into those lower areas in between the teeth. So that guy is looking pretty good. Let's do another one real quick. So I'm just giving it some instant shadow. And the Devlin mud's nice because it's giving it a little bit more of a organic effect. I didn't, I know sometimes people paint these with like metallic teeth and stuff. Not really what I wanted for these particular models, so I'm going with more of an earth tone type of deal. See how I'm like pooling down here? I'll pick that up with the brush. Just pick it up and move it. And looking pretty good. So I'm going to finish doing these. And as soon as this next wash coat is dry, I will take it up to the next, I'll actually go back and re-highlight the teeth. I want the teeth to come out nice and bright. So, sorry. I know I said I wasn't going to be recording me painting live. This is a really quick and dirty wash. Very easy to do. Alright, I'll be back in a little bit. Okay, teeth are done. Looking pretty good, I think. So we're ready to start the actual formal base coat. My scheme is I'm actually going to be picking one unique color for each teddy, though they're going to be in pairs: 2 green, 2 blue, 2 red, 2 purple, and 2 yellow. I'm just going to do a little variant on each. Okay, so it's been 4 hours. Managed to knock out the base coat over the main body, along with the teeth and the fangs. Ink is still drying because I did some washes on them afterwards. As you can see, each is a unique color. I know these greens kind of look very close, but they are separate schemes. They just kind of ended up looking the same. Overall, not bad. I would say I'm about maybe 65% done with the models. Not tomorrow night, because I won't be able to paint tomorrow night. So Wednesday night, I will be able to do the eyes, the hearts, basically finish up all the detail work and be able to base them. So anyway, I will see you Wednesday night. Okay, end of the second night of painting. And I am virtually done. Paint's still drying a little bit, so I'm a little worried about picking these guys up to show close-ups, although let's give that a shot. One sec while I get the little lens out. All told, I think we're talking about, I want to say, a total of about 8 full hours of painting. Not great paint jobs, but you know, definitely nice enough to have on the tabletop. So really simple, actually. Once you get the teeth done, which is really most of what we're talking about, then the other main challenge is the stitch work. But there's a trick for the stitches that I didn't really shoot. Essentially what you do is you take some white, let's see, you take some white, you paint the stitches in, and then you come back with black ink. Now I went with P3 Armor Wash to do the stitch work, and the reason why I did that is because I know from experience that P3 Armor Wash drops a little bit more bolder black than Bad Ab Black does. The downside to P3 Armor Wash is that it does have a little bit more sheen to it, but in this application it worked out just fine. Let's see. So yeah, this is a project I was working on. 5 of these are going to my niece for Christmas. So really, the way I'm going to present this to her is I'm going to show her all of these, and I'm going to say, go ahead and pick 5, or pick the 5 that you like. As far as the basing is concerned, went with some custom dungeon bases, and kind of ran out, to be honest with you. So I had a couple of these other, like, alien type bases, and went with the motif of like a sewer accident. So these two are standing in like the magical sewer of Zoraida's house, and the rest of these are kind of showing their frustration at the various stages of that. So yeah, what I wanted to do here was show some production line painting. So one tip was the stitches. That was and that was a little tedious. I won't lie about that. The tooth work got a little tedious as well, but the rest of it was fairly simple. As far as colors, the only thing I really did was base coat, a couple of highlights, and a wash. So kept it really simple, but as you can see, they turned out pretty nicely, pretty clean. I mean, I didn't do any effects yet, and there's all kinds of white bellies to be able to do those types of effects, but I wanted to kind of stick with this for now. And if she does want to see some effects on some of these, I can help her out there. But anyway, that's it for this project. As of right now, my painting table is all clear, which is perfect timing because that means that I'll have some time to do the December releases, and you know, if everything works out, I'll actually be able to shoot some of that painting as well. And there's a couple of tips I'm going to throw onto this video as far as some painting tips, production painting tips, and hope you enjoy. Thanks.